Champion Jeep ROM, an incredible dog that is at the very top of the ROM list. It was a very popular dog and had a lot of help on becoming the top ROM. Had thousands and thousands of men breeding dogs after him or breeding of dogs that came off of him. And he gave a big boom to the American Pit Bull Terrier history. Things before him were not so clear, and things after him became more clear because of record keeping and so on and so forth. The breed became more popular after him, per se, and more people were involved in the breed. Let me say that because he was right before the 1990s, which is the golden era of American Pit Bull Terriers. But it was the golden era because of dogs like this in the back. His mother, Champion Honey Bunch, was an absolute tremendous dog. She came out of the reg yard of Maurice Carver. And these dogs in my pedigrees, because they go back to the beginning of my dogs. Let's just talk a little bit about the incredible Atos from Busha, the Global Grand Champion. When you look at this Global Grand Champion, Atos from Busha, you're looking at a dog that he came out of the frozen semen. Imagine this. He was born in 2014, but he came out of the frozen semen of a dog that was collected in 1993, and that was Champion Mechanic. So this is how important this bloodline is being preserved through many years. Champion Mechanic is what is called a Honey Bunch dog. Honey Bunch was the mother of Jeep, as I mentioned before. It was Jeep bred to Phillies Bow that created the Jeep bloodline, created the Jeep dog and all the lineages of Jeep, which was actually a cluster of great dogs, Missy and other dogs of that order, Champion Missy and Champion Charlie and other dogs. But Champion Mechanic was the son of Rocky, and Rocky was a beautiful looking dog, kind of looks like Mechanic. Mechanic looks better than him actually, but they kind of look alike. You can tell they belong to the same family. And so when I created Atos, was an infusion of this bloodline to the Tombstone Bolio, Red Boy, Jacko bloodline of Awesome Buck. That's why he has the red nose. But these dogs here are buckskins. And these buckskin dogs, they go back, like I said before, Atos, Mechanic Buck, Mechanic to Rocky to Jeep, and then Jeep back to Honey Bunch and Bow. Phillies Bow go back to very interesting dogs. One of them is going to be Kobe's Dime, a very important dog in the breeding program. And Kobe Dime was one of the older dogs from Jumpy Kobe that goes back to a female called, I believe was Kobe's Era. Don't quote me on that because I might not have the name in my head correctly, but it's from the 1930s. And when you go back to, Dime was from the 1930s. Era was before him, and then those dogs go back to a very important dog called Kobe's Galit. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the word correctly, Galit. And this dog is from the 1910, and that dog was made out of imported dogs that came from Ireland. They were still having these important dogs coming from Ireland. The UK was not involved in this development, but the Irishmen were always bringing great dogs that they couldn't show in the Irish country, and they'll bring them to America to develop the dogs. Kobe himself, as you can see the name, from the East Coast, from the Boston area, from all that area of the East Coast, Northeast Coast, where the Irish people came from. They were reside in America, and that's where these Jumpy Kobe and those guys came from. So they were Irish people, Irish men that came from descendants of Irish men that came from the whole continent, and they came with dogs. They came with American Pit Bull Terriers. And Jumpy Kobe was a very famous dog, and these dogs of Jumpy Kobe very different than dogs they have today. Of course, those are the ones that matter. The ones of today are not the same quality, of course, because once you lose the man, you lose everything. But very important to know how these dogs go all the way back to that time. And Jeep was a very, very important dog. He produced very well. I had so many Jeep dogs. I started working when I got into the dogs. They were already working on inbreeding him and line breeding him. And I discovered they were not as good as I wanted to. I have to be very honest with you. The pedigrees were absolutely sensational, bred on Jeep. but I didn't get the results that I was looking for. So I wasn't blessed to have really great dogs directly off of him. But when I make my crosses, there were some of them, by the way. There were heavy Jeep Honey Bunch dog like Saratoga, Joker, and Mechanic himself. But Mechanic didn't produce as well as we wanted to. When I bred him to Awesome Buck, the catalytic dog, there was magic that happened. Absolute magic. I just, people try to imitate the same thing after I did it. None of them had the same results because they were looking for alternative dogs to Awesome Buck. They were of inferior quality. So I did the crosses between the semen of Shorty, which is Champion Shorty, is the son of Jeep as well. I did those breedings. So Champion Jeep, the son Champion Shorty, and these dogs of a Shorty, I bred them against the Tombstone Bolio, and I make magic again. I keep on making magic by using the bloodline of Awesome Buck. This is Chico Lopez, and I just wanted to give you just a little bit of history of the American Pit Bull Terrier and the importance of the dog called Jeep. Not all Jeep dogs were created equal. As a matter of fact, I have to be honest again, the grand majority of dogs, beautiful looking dogs, beautiful pedigrees, they wouldn't cut the line. They wouldn't make it for me, for my standards. Chico Lopez, I wouldn't like them. I had over 50 one time. I had over 35 another time, and they just didn't make it. But the ones that I was able to select here and there, they make some couple things for me. But the biggest break came over with Saratoga, and the biggest break came over with the breeding of Mechanic Buck. Mechanic Buck today is the greatest dog of the Honey Bunch bloodline. He is the greatest. He's a cross of Honey Bunch dogs, which is Mechanic, is a Honey Bunch Jeep dog, crossing to Awesome Buck. And that is the greatest producer of modern times of the Honey Bunch bloodline. Mechanic Buck outdone everyone. Nothing comes close to him. He's just absolutely sensational. A great pet, by the way. I selected him to become a great pet. I developed him to become a great pet, and he produces great pets like Atos from Busha, Rakata, and Pichenka. Thank you very much for listening to the video. If you found value in it, hit the like button. Let us know if you like the material. Thank you.